Quick question. 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 Quick question.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Quick Question. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Travis.
Travis, quick question.
Hit me.
What was your favorite summer vacation memory as a kid?
Ooh, I have quite a few because I had quite a few summer vacations. But
Every summer, one might say.
it was weird. It was like
I had one every summer.
It was like right around kind of like late July. I would just start having these memories.
Yeah, right?
And it was weird. I used to go back to Georgia every summer when I was a kid. That's where I'm from. That's where I was born. I was born in Macon, Georgia. I sure was. Straight from the heart of Georgia, Macon, right in the middle.
You are a beautiful Southern belle. It all makes sense now.
I am a debutante.
I thought there was something about you.
There's just something about me. So I would go back to Macon and I would stay with my mama, which is Southern for grandmother.
Your mama.
Mama. I would stay with her for the majority of the summer, but I had amazing times. I got to ride bikes, through undeveloped rural parts of Georgia and go explore and do things and be outdoors,
Things that you couldn't do here in Los Angeles.
Not safely, not something that was
just riding a horse down Ventura Boulevard.
I rode a horse once.
Well, here comes Travis in his old Mustang.
Wow, he is really holding on to that southern roots of his.
Somebody help me! As you're flying.
That was me riding a horse. So we went to this ranch where, because, everyone has a ranch and a horse and a farm. And so we got on these horses, and this horse, not a great horse. I was not on the best horse. It was not the best and brightest.
Hey, Travis, you get to ride Moonshine.
We're named after what we feed it. Yeah. This horse loved dog food. Loved it. Which, if you think about what probably in the 80s, what dog food was made out of, probably horse. So this was a cannibal horse. This horse, I got on it and it just, I would say sprinted, but I guess the proper word is galloped towards the garage where all the dog food was. And I got Wile E. Coyote'd right against a garage door. The garage door was like half opened to kind of let it cool off. And I was like, whoa, stop, horsey, enough. And it just whoomp, and I stuck on the thing, and it kept going in, and I slid down.
Do you know what I find amazing about this story?
What?
Is that I asked you what your favorite summer vacation memory was, and you said, well, that time that horse knocked me flat on my ass.
Well, you mentioned horse riding, and I remember, so I have a lot of memories of being back in Georgia.
So I love that. So you basically, you don't have necessarily one memory, but you have that nostalgia. Like summer vacation for you as a kid meant going to Georgia and having that like every summer. It was like something to look forward to.
It was either that or going camping with my dad. Those were like the two big things that happened every summer. And there was one camping trip that I went on with my dad that was, pretty profound. Is that the word?
Yeah.
I guess? Really made a huge impression on me. One, because we got to go to all these national parks, but two, because we got robbed. We got straight up robbed.
Like people came to your tent.
People came to our camp and to my dad's Jeep and took everything while we were gone. So we had nothing. We had they took his fishing poles. They took a gun that he had which I think was probably, I don't think you're supposed to bring those into national parks.
Probably not.
Yeah. They took a whole bunch of stuff. And I remember my dad telling me, I remember this is like vivid memory. He said, I want you to remember this because this is what it's like to be on the other end of it. Don't ever do this to someone.
Wow.
And
it's a great lesson to learn.
Yeah. So
it's a shitty way to learn it.
It's a horrible way to learn it. But they ended up catching the people who stole all the stuff. And then we ended up getting all of the evidence in the trial because nobody else filed a report. So we got all this other camping gear just a year later was just mailed to us with the evidence tag still on it.
That's hysterical.
It's kind of amazing. So that's one of my favorite memories, I guess, of.
So you basically robbed all the people in the camp twice.
I didn't rob them at all.
They got their shit stolen.
Yeah.
And then when they were supposed to get it back, they got it stolen again.
It got reappropriated,
I hear you.
That is the most American way I think that could happen.
Yeah. But the reason why I asked you this, because, like I said, it's summer right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy because when I remember as a kid, summer vacation just seemed so long,
Right.
like these 2 months. And I was like, it's August already. And it just they fly by so fast. And I started thinking about all the things I used to do during summer and kind of reliving the nostalgia of my youth, you know. And just thinking about summer made all these memories come flooding back to me. It's crazy how that works. And I did a lot of stupid shit as a kid.
Yes, that's what a kid is supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's part of being a kid. That's part of being a person.
Part of being an adult.
I would say I have not stopped doing stupid shit. I just
do a lot.
Yeah. I do different stupid shit, you know?
Yep.
It's like I've done that. I've jumped off of a cliff.
Been there.
Yeah.
Done that.
Like that's another memory with the same time that we got robbed. My dad and I were at, I think it's Sequoia, at this like glacier fed or snow fed swimming hole. And I climbed to the top of this cliff, like way, like just probably 30, 40 feet in the air.
Wow.
And my dad was like, okay, come on down. And I went, okay. And I jumped. And my dad went, oh my God. Because this was like, I don't know how deep this thing was.
You didn't like explore the bottom of it.
No, not at all. It could have very easily been like, there was no second part to this story. There was, my father was like, well, I remember when my son jumped off that cliff.
Remember when my son jumped to his death. I remember when my son plummeted to his death in a puddle.
That was a tough summer.
That was a rain puddle. He jumped into a fucking rain puddle.
So yeah, I would do dumb shit like that, but I think that God, I love summer for that.
Isn't it great though? I remember, my family. Fun fact: my family never took a vacation. No, actually,
no, you took at least one.
We took one vacation.
Yeah.
Did we talk about this before?
Yeah, because when we talked about astral projection, you talked about feeling under the pillow and feeling the
Oh, no,
sand.
that wasn't a vacation, though. That was just, we had like a little piece of land that we would go to.
But then there was some like crazy motel or something that
we went to Schwartz Motel in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean, that looked like The Shining, but in the Midwest.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird. But you know what? I kind of want to go back.
It's still around, but it's called something else now because we looked it up.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back.
Do you want to go back to see if it's different or to see if, like, why do you want to go back?
I just want to go back. I want to see,
Johnny, you got to be moving forward. You can't go back.
But I want to go back and see, like, if there's other memories there that I've forgotten about, or if like stuff kind of triggers memories that, I'll be like, oh my God, And I guess because I love my family.
Mm-hmm.
I love my family more than anything. For me, that summer vacation was one of the highlights. It's like that was the only time, and I'm talking my whole fucking family went, like my aunts, my uncles. So for me, it was like, I want to kind of go back there.
Do you want to make it a family thing, or do you want to go like?
I'd maybe like to go scope it out first.
Go solo? Go on a recon?
Maybe go on a recon mission just to make sure it's, just to see what we're getting into there.
Also,
but I think it'd be fun. I mean, look, everyone's getting older and everyone's spreading out and stuff like that. And I'm not saying I'm holding on to the past, but I think that'd be a cool thing to kind of do again.
Everyone's spreading. Oh,
yeah.
They're not living
I have family in Chicago. I have family
gotcha.
in Georgia. I have family out here. You
have family in Georgia?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. My Auntie Ba.
My Aunt Lynn lives in Georgia.
I think my aunt is in Marietta.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah.
I don't know it well, but I've been there.
Yeah. It's cool. But yeah, I think I kind of want to go back there and who knows, that I might go back and be like, that was the dumbest fucking idea ever.
Yeah, that's the risk, right? Of going back, is you could have been like, oh, I remembered it so much cooler, or I remember it so much better. And this is like not that it would be that, but there's that risk, that you could go there and it's not as good as you remembered.
Yeah. Well, okay, this is fascinating. Like, did you ever see Midnight in Paris?
The Woody Allen movie?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
Oh my God, you've got to watch it.
Okay.
It's remarkable. But it's the whole thought of the whole idea of the film is that Owen Wilson, if you guys haven't seen it at home, this is a spoiler, but you should watch it. Owen Wilson is in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
He's this kind of writer. He's like this depressed writer. He's in Paris with his wife. His wife kind of wants to kind of always do this exploring and stuff like that, and just like shit he's not really into. And he's drunk one night and he's walking home and he's kind of gets turned around in the city and he's sitting on the front steps of this building, and this car pulls up, like this old-fashioned car. And they're like, come on in, get in. He's like, oh, all right. So he gets in this car and he starts talking to the people and they're like, what's your name? And he's like, F. Scott Fitzgerald. And he meets all these other people.
Whoa.
And he's like, thinks it's a joke. And they take him to a party and he's like, all these other people are there, like Ernest Hemingway. And he realizes that every night at midnight at this particular location, he can go in there, a car will come and pick him up, and he gets transported back there to hang out with all these people he looks up to.
Oh, I had no idea that's what that movie was about.
It's amazing. And that's his whole thing. He always loved that, like, the whole...
it's Field of Dreams, but for literature.
Yes.
Okay.
And that era, like, he meets Dali, and he meets all these different people, and
Salvador Dali.
Salvador Dali.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, not Parton.
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't seem correct.
Salvador, not Dali. Or Salvador, not Dali. Yeah.
Right.
Wait, no. Salvador, not Parton.
Not Parton.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was like, I keep on saying it wrong.
Yeah.
So, but he has this whole thing where he says, he's talking to this lady and he goes, it's like this era is amazing. He's like going back there. And she tries to explain to him that if you're living in an era, it doesn't seem amazing. The only thing amazing about it is the nostalgia of going back to it.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like I didn't realize the nostalgia of that 1984 vacation to Schwartz Hotel until now. Now I get the nostalgia factor into it. But when I'm there and going through it, you don't get that nostalgia.
Why was that the only vacation your family took?
I don't know. It sucked.
No, because I don't have any.
My dad was a traveling salesman. Like he was a sales rep for this company. He was always overseas. And my mom worked. I have two older brothers, and we just didn't do vacations.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever taken.
Plus, vacations are expensive.
Oh, they're very expensive. I don't know if we ever took a family vacation. Come on.
Holy diver! I'm going to start this podcast with, please silence your cell phones.
Yeah.
What song was that?
That's Holy Diver by Dio.
Was it really?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Oh my God.
That's my ringtone.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I completely just pulled it out of my ass.
You didn't? Yeah.
No, I swear to God. I had no idea. Oh my God, I just completely pulled it out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's been my ringtone for like 5 years.
Oh my God.
I'm obsessed with that's
amazing.
I actually have summer memories about Dio. So I'm not like an enormous Dio fan. For those who don't know, Ronnie James Dio was like the second singer of Black Sabbath, and then he split off and started his own band called Dio. And all of his songs are about rainbows and demons and riding tigers and all of that shit.
Amazing.
I love it because it's so theatrical. It's almost silly. So
like Styx kind of shit.
Yeah, like in that one, he says like "Holy diver, ride the tiger." Like that's the stuff that he's
brilliant songwriting there, folks. Brilliant lesson in songwriting.
So one summer, I went to Catalina with a girl I was dating at the time, and we were on the top of the ferry out to Catalina, and the wind is just blowing like crazy. And at the time, I had really long hair, and it was blowing all my hair back. And I couldn't stop singing Rainbow in the Dark by Dio.
With your shirt blown open.
Yes. And she was like, why are you doing this? Why would you,
why would you do this to me?
Yeah, that's basically exactly it. And I said, well, this reminds me of the music video where Dio is on like the top of a building and the rest of the band is like 5 blocks away on the top of another building, and they do these like enormous like pan and zooms over to see the rest of the band, and then they come back to Dio and he's just like a rainbow in the dark.
It's amazing.
And I couldn't stop doing that. And then I got into a big conversation once with somebody about like, what are the lyrics to Holy Diver? And then ever since then it's been my ringtone.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, but all right, ready? Case in point. We're talking about nostalgia.
Yeah.
When he's dressed all ridiculous with his hair and stuff like that there's no nostalgia until the future.
Yes, right.
You know?
No, yeah.
Like back then, he was like, I look fucking good.
Yeah, he was like, I'm nailing this. Yeah, giant hair, a cape.
And that's just what you did.
This is me. I am an elfin wizard. Enjoy what I'm making. And now you look back on it and you go, did he say he was an elfin wizard? Is that what he was telling us?
Yeah.
Yeah, nostalgia is a weird thing. Do you have it for any other aspect of your life? I find I have it a lot for periods of my life where I didn't appreciate what was going on.
Yeah, here's something I've been thinking about lately. I think nostalgia can be abused.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think,
look at every commercial.
Well, I'm saying like personally, I think nostalgia is like a fuel tank.
Okay.
And I think you have a limited amount of gas in there.
I think that's what the Tesla Model 3 runs on is nostalgia.
But I think you have a certain amount of gas in your nostalgia tank. For example, like when I went to college or the longest time I spent away from home, when I finally came back for the first time, that was when like the nostalgia hit me of like being away from my hometown.
Right.
But now if I go back 3-4 times a year, the nostalgia's not there anymore. It's like, it's just, now I'm just going back home.
Well, yeah, because also too, there's a certain familiarity to it.
Yes.
It's like, you just know what it's going to be like when you get back.
Yeah. So it's like when I I visited my high school once a couple years ago, and I hadn't been there. Like I've been out of high school for 20 years, and I visited it once a couple years ago. And I went back, and I was just like, it hit me like a tidal wave. Just like walking through the halls, the smells, like everything was just like, whoa.
Was it the same or was it different?
It was completely different. The high school looks completely different, but there are certain parts that are not changed. And walking through those parts was just like, man, it sent me back. But I think if I went back there like every few months, it would just be like, now the nostalgia's gone. I'm just like, So I think you got to pick trips down nostalgia lane.
Sure.
Because like I said, like this Schwartz Hotel place, and man, I'm doing a plug on Schwartz Hotel.
By
the way, this podcast is brought to you by
Schwartz Hotel. We're still around.
Come on back.
Yeah. It's probably like you remember.
But
and Salvador Dali Parton.
Yeah, Salvador Dali Parton. The maitre d'.
Yeah. She made a lot of impressions.
I think if I went back there now, the nostalgia would be amazing. Because it's been shit. This had to be like 84. So I was like 5 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I think if I went back there now, I still have vivid memories of like my dad trying to teach me how to swim. Didn't work.
But you know how to swim.
Yes, but
okay.
my dad was not the conduit to that. At one point, my dad was holding me in water, and we're like 5 feet of water. He's like, "Dude, I'm saying," he goes, "I'll let you go. Water's way over your head right now." And I was like,
Interesting that we both have stories where it's like, and this is where I possibly died with my father in water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I think if I went back there now, the wave of memories and that whole feeling would be most prevalent.
Now, do you want to take Melissa with you? Do you want to go by yourself? Like, if you go back to revisit this thing, how do you want to experience it?
I would take Melissa. I think Melissa's more into our trips to Anguilla. But,
wait,
I don't think she'd want to go to the rundown Schwartz Motel in Wisconsin.
Is it run down?
It wasn't fancy.
Oh, I thought it was like a fancy Victorian house or something that had been.
No. This was not fancy. This was not fancy. This was like, you've never seen Dirty Dancing.
I haven't. Is that the one where dancing's illegal? And
that's Footloose. Get your
they're the
80s
same movie.
dancing. They're not the same movie.
How are they different?
Dancing was not illegal in Dirty Dancing.
But then why is it called Dirty Dancing? That to me makes me think that you're not supposed to be doing it.
Well, you got to watch the movie.
Am I wrong that you're not supposed to be doing the dirty dance?
It's just frowned upon, but it's not wrong.
So it's
like the dancers were doing like sexual stuff that back when the movie took place in like the 50s and 60s.
Wait, that doesn't take place in the 80s?
No.
What?
Yes, it does not take place in the 80s. It came out in the 80s, and there's 80s music that plays in the movie.
You're not making me want to watch this.
It's amazing, and I promise you'll love it.
I promise you I won't.
How do you know that? You haven't seen it.
I don't like those kind of movies. That's not my thing.
What do you mean you don't like those kinds of movies? Do you like music?
Yes, but not that. Is Dio on the soundtrack? If Dio's on the soundtrack, I'm on board.
Oh, man.
If I'm on board, if you can tell me.
You don't like the song Time of Your Life?
No, I don't.
Oh, my God.
I really don't like that song.
Who am I sitting across from right now?
Well, this is where we find the big reveal. No, I really don't like that song.
What?
Yeah.
What about She's Like the Wind by Patrick Swayze?
Patrick Swayze.
Do you like Patrick Swayze? Are you American?
I like Roadhouse Patrick Swayze. I like Point Break Patrick Swayze. I don't want to see Patrick Swayze put a baby in a corner or whatever happens in that movie.
That's not what happens in the movie.
There's a baby and he puts a baby in the corner and someone's like, that's not good parenting.
You know what, dude?
There's a huge...
Your ringtone sucks. I fucking hate your ringtone. Fuck you and your ringtone, man. You got to watch Dirty Dancing. You'll love it. And Footloose is just great because it's just early Kevin Bacon, you know?
Right, but okay.
There comes a point, Trevor, you got to watch an 80s movie just to watch the 80s movie.
But there's other 80s movies that I love.
Why stop it though? Like, just why not expand your horizons?
Because I'm not a dance movie guy. Like, I never have. Because I can't dance. So why would I want to watch something?
There it is.
See?
Wait, there it is,
okay,
folks.
Hold on. I choose to be vulnerable with you and you throw it right at me.
You know who you are?
Who am I?
You are Sean Penn's brother who passed away.
Chris Penn?
Chris Penn. You are Chris Penn in Footloose.
Chris Penn is in Footloose?
Chris Penn is in Footloose.
What's he doing in Footloose?
So is Sarah Jessica Parker. Yeah. So is John Lithgow.
So is Jeremy Orbach? No, wait.
Jerry Orbach is in Dirty Dancing.
He's in Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
And-
You are Chris Penn in Footloose. He can't dance either. But
hold
guess
on.
what?
But what?
He learns.
And look where that got him. He's dead now.
Not in that movie.
So I think the moral of the story is dancing's not your thing.
You're gonna die.
Stay away from it.
No, you would like it.
Why do you feel this is? I've heard this a lot. I've heard people tell me that I would like it, and it's not like I have seen zero of the film. I've started to watch the movie, and I've just go, I'm not interested. We drove by a billboard for a showing of Titanic, and I told you I've never seen Titanic, and you wanted.
And I almost flipped out.
You wanted to duck and roll out of the car. Although you have no idea who Captain EO is, so I feel like that's not fair.
I just told you our only family vacation was at the Schwartz Hotel, and you expect me to know this Disneyland George Lucas?
Final performance of Captain EO was in 2015, so they brought it back after he died.
Okay, so what was it exactly? Was it an experience?
It was a 4D movie. That's a 3D movie with live things happening around you.
Yes.
Right next to Space Mountain in Disneyland. And it was where you watched a space opera starring Michael Jackson and Angelica Houston.
No, I don't want to see it.
Why?
Just not in a space opera. Just not in a space opera.
I get it. You're not in a son of a bitch.
Just not in a space opera.
All right. That's fair. Oh, you know what? Let me show you. You know what? That's fair. That's fine. I respect your choice.
Fair. And
I respect
you do not
your
respect
choices.
my choices.
I don't respect your choices, but I'm trying to sound like I do.
That's like saying, you know what? Have you ever been to Disneyland? And you go, no. Why not? You'd love it. No, I wouldn't like it. You can't say you wouldn't like it unless you try it.
But that's what I'm saying. I have tried Dirty Dancing and
You have
Footloose.
to watch the whole thing. You can't just open to a random page in a book, read that one page and go, I'm not into it.
You sure?
I mean,
okay.
I'll tell you what.
All right.
We'll do a trade.
We'll do a trade.
A trade.
You're going to watch The Leftovers.
Wow. Okay.
Uh-huh.
There's Footloose is an hour and a half.
Uh-huh.
I will watch one episode of Leftovers.
Okay. Okay. If you watch the pilot episode of The Leftovers,
you will watch Footloose.
I will watch Footloose.
Okay.
If you watch something about 2% of the world disappearing.
Well, actually, I think I might want you to watch Dirty Dancing instead.
You got to pick your dance movie because I'm only doing one. You got to focus, Jonathan. I'm not going to get suckered.
Time for two.
I'm not going to get suckered into a double dance movie. I'm not falling for it.
All right. I'll leave this one to the viewers or to the listeners at home. Tweet us at QuickQPod or I'm at Sadowski23. He's at Mr. Travis Clark. And let us know which one Travis should watch. Should he watch Dirty Dancing or should he watch Footloose?
Right. And will I like it? Do you think Jonathan's right? Do you think whichever one it is that I will just be on board for the whole thing?
I think you're going to dig it.
You love these movies, right? You love them.
Yes, because I'm American.
Okay.
The look you gave me. The look you gave me was priceless. Okay.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'm the one from like this rural Georgia who likes to ride bikes and jump off of cliffs, but you like dance movies, so
I
you're
am
more
from
American.
the south side of Chicago.
The
Yes.
south side of Chicago.
We did things like I break danced as a kid.
Broke dance, I believe it would be the
Break
past tense.
danced.
Broke dance because you don't do it now, do you?
But it's called break dancing.
But it's past tense, so it'd be broke dancing.
No, I break danced.
Okay.
We'll agree to disagree. But yeah, me and my brothers, we were in a breakdance group.
Oh, what was the name of your breakdance
I
group?
want to say it was like the Electric Boogaloo. I think we named it after.
After the sequel to Breakin'?
So you watched Breakin'.
I'm aware of that. Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo was the name of the movie. I haven't.
We were young, dude, and we thought it would be cool to name it after the movie. So
what was your go-to move? What was your best break?
I had a couple. I used to do a suicide.
I don't know what that is.
It's dumb. You basically do a flip and land on your back on the floor.
I think that's called a mistake.
Yes.
I think that's
It's called the suicide mistake.
I did the same. I would do the same thing, but there was a clown. It was a clown bit, and there was a banana peel involved.
But you would flip?
I would do a flip and land on my back. Yep.
Yeah. See, we have a lot more in common than you think,
Wow.
Trev. Yeah, but we would perform at the. So there was this church across the street from my house, and
The Church of Breakin'.
the church of It's amazing. But they would have these things. This is amazing. This is how Guido of a town I come from. The church across the street in the school hall. There's a school attached. They would have every year something called the mustacholi dinner.
The what?
Mustacholi.
Is that a dish or is that a
Mustacholi is a
person?
pasta.
Okay.
It's like penne, but it's called mustacholi.
It's okay.
It's called mustacholi, and they would have all these people from the neighborhood, all these guys. They would make vats. Hundreds and hundreds of people would show up to this thing, and they'd make these vats of sauce, and it was like $5 to get in or a few bucks to get in. It was all you can eat mustacholi and all that. And then there was like a talent show, and there was all these acts that would come up. There's like neighborhood people and performing and stuff like that. And so like my breakdance group, Electric Boogaloo, we would break and on this. There's a tiny little stage, but the final event, the main attraction of the mustacholi dinner, was the mustacholi band.
What?
And it was all the Italian guys from the neighborhood. There's like maybe 12 guys who cooked and everything. They had their white little triangle paper hats on and their aprons, and they would come out and they all played horns. No one played anything but horns, but like trumpets and French horns and tuba.
So like mustacholi mariachi?
Not mariachi, but they would do like Italian songs, and they would play all these like songs. And that was like, it was hysterical. It was hysterical.
Was it supposed to be hysterical?
Yes, because
okay.
None of these guys were musicians. Like they weren't reading real music. They're like, I think I can kind of play. They would like rehearse for a few days and then play like a bunch of songs.
Oh my God.
It was great.
Why would you end with that?
It was a gimmick. It was like not the novelty of it. It's like the Mustacholi band is like, it's almost like the Blues Brothers. It's like they're not really great, but you go there to see them.
Okay.
Yeah. So they would cook for everybody, and then they would perform at the very end.
Wow.
And they're in just like these white aprons with like sauce just like splashed all over.
It's amazing.
Yeah, dude. It was great.
Do you have any photos from then?
My Uncle Roy played in the Mustacholi band.
Is it like Menudo? You get to a certain age and you got to leave?
Oh, no. These guys were like, there were some of the guys, a lot of them have passed away because they don't do the this was again in the 80s, early to mid 80s. There were a lot of guys in like their 70s then who were playing in the band.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But it was just like all the old timers from the church, and yeah.
Could you be a special sit-in mustacholi boy and
They don't do the dinner anymore.
At all?
No. Yeah, it hasn't happened.
Fucking low-carb diets.
Yeah. But I don't think that matters in my neighborhood, but they just haven't done it. It's funny you say that because I've always wanted to get it back going.
Well, we could always make a West Coast edition, right?
The Mustacholi dinner?
Yeah, why not? Why bring a little bit of your neighborhood to California?
I think I'd rather just have it back where it started, And then you get to come to Chicago.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll come to Chicago. Sure, I'll go
for an all-you-can-eat mustacholi dinner.
You're putting a lot of mustacholi on the line.
I'm telling you,
I'll put some pasta away.
2 minutes ago, he didn't know what mustacholi was. I'm like, you've never seen me with all-you-can-eat mustacholi.
Did you just say all you could eat?
Did you guys have like any church functions like that back where?
No, we weren't really church people. We didn't really have anything like that.
Were there any because you grew up in the area here?
Yeah.
Were there any kind of local community events like that, like carnivals or?
Yeah, there's a carnival that happens at this park all the time.
Okay.
And actually, my high school, which isn't too far from here, had a big fair that used to happen.
What high school did you go to?
Notre Dame High School in Sherman Oaks. Stop on by the fair. Come for the popcorn, stay for the stabbing. That's what I say. When I was in high school, as the fair got closer and closer, they would find more and more reasons to give you detention because it was free janitorial work.
Oh, really?
So at my school, you weren't allowed to wear tennis shoes. You weren't allowed to have long hair. You weren't allowed to have
Notre Dame. It sounds like a Catholic school.
It was a very Catholic school.
Yeah.
Well, it was a very progressive Catholic school. But so I always wore tennis shoes and I always tried to grow my hair out.
You rebel.
So I always.
You rebel.
Look, man.
Screw you, Padre.
If I wasn't not watching a dance movie, I had on tennis shoes and long hair. But I always had detention during the carnival at the Notre Dame Carnival, and I had to do some gross stuff, man. I would always
like porta potty work.
No, I had to mop up a puddle of clotted blood from a stabbing.
What?
Yeah, they were like they always end up being. It was the weirdest thing. Like it's this prep school, right? It's a Catholic prep school that cost a lot of money to go to, and everybody who went there
someone got stabbed with a really expensive knife.
It was super collectible. It was Damascus steel, it just folded over and folded over. Really
Amazing.
beautiful, highly collectible. But there would always be these like crazy events that would happen where because everybody would come to this thing from all over the city, I guess. And then somebody would look at somebody the wrong way or cut in line for the monkey cages or whatever, and then stab. And then there would be a giant pool of blood and I'd have to mop it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
This didn't happen in grass?
No, it happened on the pavement. It was like it was
Oh,
huge,
oh.
like a big pile of, I don't know if you've ever seen blood just clot. It's really gross.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's not fun.
I can imagine.
And also too, I didn't get gloves. Like it's a biohazard. I don't know what I picked up, both in terms of what
Why wouldn't you just say no?
I don't know, because
Because you're a kid.
Yeah, because
that's so true. Like kids never just get to say, looking back, I'd be like, I would have told so many people, I'm not doing that.
yeah, what's wrong with you? Or give me a hose, I'll rinse it into the storm
Yeah.
drain. I'm not picking that up. That's a giant unattached scab. I don't want to touch that.
That's gross.
yeah.
That's gross.
Too much? Too far?
A little bit.
All right.
So
I like to paint the picture.
in freshly dripped blood. Hi, I like to paint the picture. Amazing. Favorite ride at a carnival?
Favorite ride at the carnival was the monkey cages.
What's the monkey?
Monkey cages is like a Ferris wheel, but I don't know if that's the real name of it.
They have one kind of like the one at Disney or at California Adventure.
Oh yeah, the Mickey's Fun Wheel. Except
Yeah.
this is a lot more, put together by carnies and not as it's a lot more violent because you could actually swing the thing and make it do backflips.
And not the zipper.
Not the zipper. It's zipper-like, but in a Ferris wheel kind of thing. So it's
I have a lot of issues with carnival rides.
yeah, they're terrifying.
I love them, but you know what else? There's not new carnival rides.
No, and when
There's no new carnival rides. There's no such thing. And the carnival rides, here's what happens. You either go up and down or around. That's it.
Right. Because it all has to be loaded up on the back of a truck and driven somewhere else. Yeah. There was a ride that we had, I think it was called the paraglider. And it was supposed to look like a parachute, but it was just a giant, plastic umbrella that was on top of a chair and you swung up and came down. And I remember I'd been going on this thing for, because they let you ride these things for a really long time, much longer than any amusement park. And they just let you go for 2 or 3 minutes and they bring you down. Once I got off, one of the carnies took a hammer and went, and hit a pin that had practically fallen out. My chair was moments from being flung off. And
that's weird.
He had to make sure the pin was still in there.
Yeah, and it's just, I did like Gravitron. I love Gravitron.
Oh, the thing that spins you around?
Yeah, the spaceship, and it spins you around. But you know what? I don't think they're making new Gravitrons. I think that's the same Gravitron from when I was a kid.
Probably. I mean, who would make these things?
Carnival ride company?
Right, but I'm saying these things that they last a very long time, right? So you only need to make a few of them. It's not like each year you got to go, hey, you got to see the Gravitron improvements we've made. No one's trying to sell you a 2017 Gravitron that's going to be different from one that you
But what if they did? What if, Trev?
Okay, let's hear.
I think we're onto something here.
Okay, the new Gravitron.
We start a company
Okay.
that manufactures safer, more fun carnival rides.
Okay, how are they safer?
We make them safer.
Right, but once you remove the element of danger, how do they become fun?
Oh, so that's that's what you mean.
Yeah,
so you think the whole fun of a carnival ride is you're I might not make it out of this one.
Well, I think any amusement ride, it's at least perceived danger or perceived, that you're going to.
I don't know. I feel completely safe when I go to Magic Mountain.
Oh, I do not,
dude. I feel completely safe at Magic Mountain. I go to carnivals. I'm I don't feel safe playing a carnival game, let alone
No, there's nothing safe about a carnival in terms of where they're located, what the rides are,
the people running the rides,
the food. None of that is safe.
I will eat carnival food like there's nobody.
I've seen you do it, and then I've seen you go, I shouldn't have eaten that.
No, but I didn't get sick.
You ate that Rose Bowl hot dog.
It was delicious.
Right. And then the next night you're like, oh, Sheriff Hot Dog's running some shit out of town.
Get out of here. I did not say that.
Said something like that.
100%, I can assure everybody at home the words Sheriff Hot Dog have never come out of my mouth.
I'm gonna find that tweet and I'm gonna
Sheriff Hot Dog
I'm gonna find that text.
Was running some shit out of town.
I'm gonna find that text and I'm gonna post it because I know you said that. I know for a fact you said that.
I have never once referred to any hot dog as Sheriff Hot Dog. Oh my God.
Well, that's
Look, man, even ask Melissa. Melissa calls me Old Ironsides. I can eat street meat, man. I love it. I went to China and I had street meat. I go like when I'm in the Caribbean, I like look for the seediest, like off the road kind of.
Well, yeah, you love street ribs, right? Isn't that
Ken's Barbecue in Anguilla, the best barbecue ever.
Okay. How do you not get sick eating these things? I got sick
Because
at
they're
Disneyland.
safe, dude. But yeah, what did you have?
I ate a vegetable wrap at Disneyland.
Yeah, don't eat a vegetable wrap. That'll eat meat. Stick with meat.
I feel no. I feel that's not right.
I feel no.
I feel no. No, I feel meat is where you get sick. I think
don't
it's
think
more.
so. Look, I think they handle them well. Like I love bacon wrapped hot dogs. Like you come out of like, oh man,
No.
bacon wrapped hot dogs. with
I'd
the
rather
mustard.
watch Dirty Dancing.
You're going to.
I know, but bacon wrapped hot dogs?
You never had them like from the ladies.
I used to work at a hot dog stand. I've had every version of a hot dog you can imagine.
But I'm talking like like the little Mexican ladies that have the stand and
with
they
the flat top.
Yeah, they're delicious. And I've never gotten. You know what? I've gotten food poisoning more from fancy restaurants than I have from street meat. I don't think, and to be honest, I don't think I've ever gotten sick from street meat.
Well, if you're eating it all the time and then going to a fancy restaurant, how do you know which gave it to you? It's like which came first, the street meat or the fancy food?
No.
Yeah.
I don't not like alternating days. I'm just not afraid to eat street.
No, I feel like you're on your way to Spago's and stopping and being like,
Well, because
one,
I know,
one
like,
bacon dog,
if I went to a fancy restaurant and I'm sick in like the next day and I didn't eat street meat that day before, I know it was the restaurant.
But you don't do both the same day.
No, I don't eat street meat a whole lot, but I'm not afraid to.
You're not afraid to, but you don't do it often. I feel like those are
Because
in
I don't
conflict.
go. Well, first off, it's not very healthy, and I try
That's
to,
true.
Yes, it's not great for you. You know, like greasy hot dogs with bacon wrapped around them is not like the ideal
Man,
bedtime.
I've seen you tuck into some like gnarly stuff. I have seen you put away some things where I go, how is that possible?
Oh, is that funny? Oh, I've seen you tuck into some gnarly
Yeah,
shit.
I have.
I love it though, man.
We went out to that canyon club that one time, and you're like, I'm gonna get the prime rib. Like you ate a steak the size of
It was
your
36
face.
ounces.
It was the size of your head,
36 ounces.
and like it was
I
like
ate it in 12 minutes.
it was gone before it hit the table. You almost took the waitress's hand with it. You're like,
Yeah, man.
Oh my god.
I was hungry.
Yeah, you don't mess around.
You don't mess with me.
You
My
know.
buddies call me Worm.
Worm?
Yeah,
because you have one.
I think I have a table.
Yeah.
Yep. That's just Worm. Oh, hey Worm, you hungry? Yeah. I knew you was gonna say that.
Where do you put it, man?
Dude, I'm a big boy, dude. And like I said, you'll meet my family. They come out on Monday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're staying with me. My mom and my dad. You'll meet the folks.
Oh, I get to meet Mama and Papa Sadowski.
Yeah. I think she's actually gonna make a little pasta for us one night.
Oh,
Yeah, some homemade. Well, yeah, we're all gonna watch Dirty Dancing, double feature, Dirty Dancing and Footloose, and then everybody who watched both movies gets to eat my mom's pasta. Look, he's so mad at me right now.
son of a! You know, the only way to convince me to do something is to let me know that there's a meal at the end of it.
It's
Like,
no, but
yeah.
she is gonna make food, but you will be able to meet them, and they're not small people. My family is we're a big bunch, big genes,
Big.
big genes in my family, figuratively and literally.
But you're not a big person.
I can become a big person very easily.
You don't want to see me. When
You,
I'm
you
hungry.
would like. Yeah, dude, I take it down.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you eat.
Further, you eat really quickly as well. Like you,
Oh, I don't mess around. I do not mess around with. Well, I'm trying to be better about how I mess around with
I like
food.
eating. I love enjoying stuff. I like long dinners. I don't like eating just to.
Just to fuel up.
Yeah,
Do you? Are you okay?
I eat to fuel up, but I don't like it.
Oh, so you're saying you do eat for fun? You don't just eat for nourishment?
Oh no, I love eating for fun.
Me too. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But I like to make it. I make it last. Like I try to keep up with you when we go on our burrito runs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I just realized I was like, I don't want to eat my burrito that fast.
Oh,
I like to savor that fucking burrito.
See, I've always had that problem of just I need it in me, and then I need another one because I don't know I ate that one.
Yeah.
And then that's when you go, I think I shouldn't have had 3 burritos. That was probably the mistake I made.
I'm not finished. Keep them coming.
When I was a kid, my mama took me to Red Lobster. I don't want to brag, but
It's a fancy night out.
Right. They had endless shrimp. I'm 7, right? They had endless popcorn shrimp, and it was like $10. And the waitress was like, "Well, why don't you just get the kids thing? Because it's $10. You know, that's only like $5." And I was like, "No, I want the endless shrimp." And she brought me 17 plates of shrimp.
No, she didn't.
And she was like, "Are you throwing these on the floor?" And I was like, "No."
17 plates.
Plates, yeah. I mean, I don't know how many were on there. I don't remember. They just kept bringing them. And she went, "I've honestly never brought anyone, child or adult, this many shrimp."
They should have put your picture on the wall.
I know, right? I deserved some kind of Red Lobster recognition for my achievements. God damn it. I murdered a whole clan of shrimp in my mouth.
We lost a lot of good shrimp out there.
All right, so to review.
You liked going to Georgia.
You want to possibly revisit the only childhood vacation spot you had in Wisconsin.
Yes. Nostalgia is a finite resource.
However, it might be the fuel of the future.
What else? I like street meat.
I've never seen Dirty Dancing or the other one. What's the other one?
Footloose.
Footloose.
You know damn well what the other one is.
They're the same movie to
yes.
me.
And
to me, they're the same movie.
And both of my parents are big people.
And my ringtone is Ronnie James
Your
Dio.
ringtone is Holy Diver! All right, folks, that concludes Quick Question. Follow us on the socials.
I'm at Mr. Travis Clark.
I am at Sadowski23.
And the show is at QuickQ Pod on all the socials, and you can also like us on Facebook.
Tune in next time.
When the question will be, have I seen Dirty Dancing yet?
Quick question.
Let's try something a little different with the outro this week. So, fun fact, Jonathan is actually off on his own summer vacation right now. He's been gone for almost 2 weeks off in Europe, but he's been calling me and leaving me messages. So, instead of a commercial, I'd like to play for you Jonathan's Vacation Voicemails.
Hey, Travis Sadowski, man. How are you, dude? The Euro trip is going so great. I found myself in this little plaza in Dubrovnik yesterday, and there was this guy, this older man walking by with his mustache. He was so happy. He was strumming a guitar, and I just thought of you. I just wanted to call and say that I miss you, and party on, dude. Yo, Travis, it's Sadowski. What's up, man? I am in sunny Italy. Melissa and I took a trip to Amalfi, and then we took a boat to Positano. And I just got to tell you, man, this beach in Positano, and this cute little big boy walked by eating a whole pizza by himself, and he had just the thickest mustache. He had to be like 8 or 9. And I thought of you, man, and I was like, I miss Travis. So I hope you're well, man. Ciao. What up, T-Dog? T-Giggity? T-C? Travis Clark Kent? Travis Clark in the Kent. Yo, dude, it's Sadowski. I am calling you from Greece, Santorini, Greece. And I got to tell you, I was on this beach today, and I thought of you. I saw this little girl walk by, and she had the cutest mustache. And it reminded me of my mom and how much my mom loved you. And I thought I'd call and say, hey, I miss you. Can't wait to get back and start working on Quick Questions. I love you.
I don't know. Sounds like somebody's getting a little clingy.